Would have been MP4 the whole episode would have been. Well, I could have pulled it offline, but make sure.
Get up there and lay down.
At least it came back on. All right, we're back.
We're live.
Man, yeah, we had a little technical difficulty, a little Mr.
Little
Technical
TD.
difficulty over here.
Yeah, right.
We're back, but I was talking about when he was in the store, and he was like, "You got any of those little, what do you say, airplane whiskeys?" And at
Yeah,
first I was
those
like, "Airplane whiskeys." I was like, "Oh, the small, like the."
the little
And he
bitty
was like,
one.
"I got this." He's like, "I can't afford that." And he's like, "I don't know, man. You look like you need it. I'm gonna let you have it. You know, it's
Yeah,
on me." It's like, well, let him have the fucking ding dongs and the can of beans.
yeah, for real. He's like, the sandwich is $5. He's like, fuck the
Yeah, he
sandwich.
said,
He
"How about
threw it back
now,
in that bag. Yeah,
dude?" He took peanut butter and fish hooks.
yeah,
Didn't even need the fish hooks. Dude could catch them by hand. Like
dude, that was fucking awesome,
when he came
right?
up with that, that's
Yeah, he's like,
when like
oh,
the whole like vibe of the trip changed right there when the girl was at it. Like when he
yeah,
came up with the fish and they were beating it, you know,
yeah,
dude, when he threw those keys and started dancing, and Shia LaBeouf was doing it with his knees, like
yeah. It's like, this is fucking out. Yeah, I
hilarious.
mean, and his response was so genuine. Like, that was not scripted at all. You
No,
could tell. And he just started laughing. He's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
look at him. Yeah. Oh, man.
I
Them
don't
and
know
the,
like how they could make a movie together and then like not be friends after,
dude,
because their
hanging out every
relationship was just,
weekend. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Legit, like hanging out every weekend for sure. You know what I mean?
hmm
But no, man, I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I finally got around to watching it. Like, I want to watch Honey Boy now.
yeah,
See
it's worth a watch.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah.
After I saw these two movies, well, I saw Honey Boy, and then I saw this one, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to like, you know, make up for it for
Yeah.
being a dick, you know, which he
Yeah.
was.
But hey, I mean,
Dude, that cop, whenever he went to jail, he was like, there's actually a recording of it. I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but he was talking shit to this cop. I think it was in Georgia, maybe Savannah or something. I think he was maybe doing a movie or something and got arrested. He was drunk and started talking mad shit, you know. And you're
yeah.
like, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? You know.
Yeah, I'm Shia LaBeouf,
After
bitch.
that,
I
man,
can,
like once he got out of rehab, he like befriended the cop and would like go on fishing trips with him and hang out with
that's,
him and yeah.
yeah.
You know, it's that thing they do when they get out where it's like, all right, what was
Yeah.
that thing we watched? Bucky. Got your
Yeah.
list, man, and you gotta, you
Got
know,
to go conquer it. Yeah.
make it right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. I would definitely pick this up. I mean, I bought fucking way back on Blu-ray at Walmart. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Way back when.
If I ever see a couple years ago.
I just said it to say
um
that.
but if I ever come across it in the wild, I'll definitely pick it up because I mean, it's just, it's a
It's not
really
very
good
long.
feel good.
It's
No,
you know, it's kind of a
it's
you know it's gonna surprise people too because it's like I almost don't like recommended a Shia LaBeouf movie to people because I know they're
right.
already gonna be like, I don't know, man. And it's like it's different, man. He's playing the good guy this time. I can't
Yeah.
see anybody else playing that role in that movie.
No, not at all. Not at
He's the
all.
perfect Tyler.
Yeah. Fantastic movie. Would watch again. I want to before we fucking get going. Like, so his journey, Zach's journey is to go to this wrestling training camp,
Yeah, that
right?
he saw on a very old VHS.
Yeah,
Had
very
to be
old.
that
Yeah.
like late '80s, early '90s on that tape,
Yeah, yeah. So at least what, 20 years?
at least.
Maybe 25 years? I mean, like, um and he shows up and like that conversation that Shia LaBeouf
Yeah, he's like, I ain't
happens.
trying to put this shit on your porch, man, but
Yeah,
you know,
like
we
this
we had
kid.
a we had a we went on a long journey to get here. Like you have no idea. We got shot. I would have went into detail. We almost got
Yeah,
hit by a shrimp boat. We got shot at. I
yeah, this
burned down a
black dude.
dock.
Yeah,
It's been
it's a
crazy.
yeah. We got
He caught a
drunk.
fish with his bare hands.
Yeah. um,
Like
but
him,
that
what he
conversation.
said, like they went on a journey. It was like that's an understatement, dog. Like it was an
Yeah, for
adventure.
real. Yeah. And then they show up and like he has that conversation with him, man, where he's just like, like he recognized the
He
situation.
said, "You see that boy back there? Now
Yeah.
you get it. You understand what's happening?
Yeah. And like the idea because the
How good
kid
did it
doesn't
make you
know.
feel, dude, when he came rolling up in that car?
Yeah,
Because when
dude.
they were
Because
leaving, you're
like,
like, this is a fucking bummer, dude.
yeah,
And he's like,
yeah,
I don't want to go. I want to stay here. He's here somewhere. I want to look for him. And it's like, oh man, he don't get that. That's not, you know.
yeah,
And Shiloh, oh Tyler's walking around like, God damn it, you know.
yeah.
Now I got to
How do
let
I
him
break it?
down like that because
Yeah,
that just turned into his whole mission.
yeah, yeah. Um, I thought whenever I was watching it that they were gonna get there and he was gonna be dead.
Yeah,
And
you knew there
like,
was going to be some kind of bummer. I was like, third act's coming, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah. And I was like, they're going to get there. He's going to be dead. Then he's going to have to explain like what life and death is to this kid. And
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be a whole big thing. And, all the, and no, dude, like when he fucking rolls up in that car
doing fucking
with
whipping
that,
shitties.
yeah, like almost wrecks the car,
Yeah, almost hits
like
him.
no stunt driver. Yeah, yeah, that was actually him driving the car for sure, right? Like no stunt driver, just him. Um, and then he's like, "Come on!" And they go back to the trailer,
Yeah,
and like
same trailer
he
that
called,
we were just at,
yeah, uh, yeah, yeah.
and
He
put
called
put
like,
ropes, and they
yeah,
were just
on fucking
ropes.
fence
Yeah,
posts, yeah, and pallets and shit to make it. And then he's just training him. He's like, "I
he
want
said he
the
wanted
what
to do
was
the
it? The
atomic
atomic
bomb.
throw."
Yeah, and he was like, that was all smoke and mirrors, man. I'll be honest with you. I'd
Yeah,
hold them up over my head. They'd cut to me, the camera, do a close up, and it'd throw somebody out of the ring. You know,
yeah.
it's all smoke and mirrors. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He was the way he was talking was so
Yeah,
fast too. He
and
just
you
did a
got
line in
Jake
the
the
fucking
Snake standing
trailer.
back. Trav, did you recognize that was Jake the Snake?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
thought
did.
that was cool that he kind of ended up being a bit of a dick, but
Yeah,
he's like, come on, man, I thought we had an agreement. He's like, fuck you, I've been doing this for 40 years. Like, all right,
yeah.
asshole. Even mankind missing a goddamn ear. Did
I
y'all know
mean,
what happened to his ear? Ripped it
I
off in a
mean,
match, you know.
yeah, yeah, probably.
Terry Funk happened to it. But
um,
that was cool though, him training him up, and he was like, "You want to wrestle?" They were sitting around drinking beers at night, and then Tyler
yeah,
sitting on the porch watching him smiling, like, he's
yeah.
like, "Look how happy he
Like
is.
yeah.
We
Check him
fucking
out.
did it, man."
Yeah, yeah. It was sad knowing like what happened to his brother. That it was his fault. You know what I mean?
This
Like
was
more
his
or
way of kind
less.
of making up. Like, it ain't ever gonna bring his
Yeah.
brother back, but
No,
he was
but he
doing a
can
little
still
good in the
have.
world.
Well, he can still have that relationship like he had with his brother, even though his brother's not there. It's just the shoes on the other foot. You know what I mean? And it was nice to see that work
Yeah.
out. The big brother situation. So
So they go to the wrestling event, and when they're riding in the car, it's real tense. You know what
it's
I mean? Dude
right.
cuts that music on. Jake the Snake's head's poking about a foot up over the vehicle, like,
Like
and
I
they're
hope
like
there's
getting
no
trying to
road
get him all
signs.
hype, But dude, when they get there,
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm scared, Tyler," and he's like, "No, no, no, don't do that right now. No,
Yeah,
no, no,
don't.
no. You got to do this. I mean, after this, we'll go back home, but you
Yeah.
got to do this today. Like, this your chance." And he's like, "Hang on, we'll
Yeah.
go make you a costume, dude." When he fucking comes out there and hits that music, he's like, "It's time to
Yeah.
fly." And he
Yeah.
hopping the crowd up. He's over there. That was great, man.
It was.
Everybody, the
It was
crowd was
fucking.
getting into it.
Yeah.
The peanut butter Falcon. And he was running around. And he doing that thing where he was leaning the headpiece.
Yeah.
Dude, for about 10 minutes, that cardboard work was pretty good on the headpiece.
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
real.
say.
Like they got it built quick.
He had some scissors or something.
Yeah.
And then,
He was using them fish hooks.
yeah. And then there's just this random dude there that's like, yeah, Tyler's at the wrestling thing. It's like,
Well,
God damn it.
he was the guy that was sitting on the back of the truck whenever dude approached him with what's his name? He was
Rat boy.
like, yeah, he's like, kick his ass.
Yeah.
He was
Kick his
that
ass.
guy. Yeah. And then of course he's got to ruin and he told him, he said, I'm gonna beat your head in with a fucking tire iron.
Yeah.
And he fucking shows up with a
Like, if you
fucking
do that,
tire
dude, you ain't
iron.
never gonna get your money back.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, dude.
But
Dude, when he's holding him up and everybody's looking at it like, what?
yeah,
You just picked him up over his head? That dude's probably almost 7 foot tall.
yeah.
And then throws him out of the ring. And then as soon as that happens, he gets hit in the head. When y'all saw her crying, did y'all think he was dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that's where it was gonna go, you know. But
I think they told her, they were like, we'll see what happens. We don't know yet. Like, we're still in surgery. Because then you cut to him blowing the candles out.
yeah.
He told him earlier, I'm going to give you all my birthday wishes. He just laughed at him. Like,
Yeah.
all your birthday wishes for the rest of your life. Which was a nice thing to do.
Yeah, it really is. And then cuts to him driving.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the reality of this situation here for a second. So we have a person that has escaped from an elderly person's home that they haven't reported because they want her to find him. And then she swaps sides.
Yeah.
They decide to go to Florida. Yeah. And it's like,
I think at this point, though, because they told her, they said, when you bring him back, we're going to put him in a different home. And she said, that's for like junkies and, prisoners.
Prostitutes.
Yeah. And so I think while Tyler was in the hospital, because that could have taken a while.
Yeah.
I think she adopted him.
You
Legally,
think so?
I do. Well, there's just no, I mean, you can't just run off with somebody, can you?
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. It's like the reality of the situation of what was going on here, like they would have been hunted by the cops.
Yeah, dude. And she wasn't gonna do that. I mean,
No.
he's gonna receive like a check every month. You know, in order to get that, they kind of got to know where you're at. Like, I think she adopted him, and that was the plan. Like, we're all gonna go live together in Florida. That's just the way I pictured it. Like,
yeah,
and that's a great ending.
Yeah, it was. I mean, him and hers together. They adopted, or she adopted him,
or got custody of him. However,
Yeah, however you want.
Guardianship.
Yeah. And like, I mean, you know that he's going to be, like he said, he's going to buy a fishing boat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they moved to Florida, and it's just them two on the
I'd watch
fishing
that
boat,
movie.
fucking dicking around, all
chartering people like fucking Captain Ron.
Could you imagine? Fucking Tyler's driving the boat, and fucking Zach's back there, like fucking talking to him and all this shit, like
giving them the safety rules.
Yeah, dude, I would fucking love to watch that movie, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing. But yeah, I'm giving it a full star, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, full star.
Yeah, same. Good acting, good cinematography. It's been really hot here lately, so I definitely felt the heat from the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
it looked humid out there.
Well, and by the time they got to dude's trailer, I'm like, I could smell the balls through the TV.
Yeah, dude. 2 sets of them.
They ain't took a shower. They've been shitting on the side of the road.
Yeah. Oh, I was just pissing everywhere.
Yeah, he didn't.
How many times he pissed on the fire?
Yeah, he pissed
I'm like,
on that.
That's
fucking...
gonna smell weird.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to pee on it? Every time he's peeing in the ocean.
Yeah.
Him shooting that shotgun, dude.
Yeah, that was fucking great. It blew him back
on those train tracks.
Yeah, he's just like, you got to plant your feet better. but those little montages of them training and all that kind of stuff, like it was just a feel good moment, you know?
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Would watch again.
Oh
Will
yeah.
watch again, you know?
I'm
I'll
glad y'all liked
pro
it. I figured y'all
yeah.
would. It was kind of hard not to like that movie, dude.
I, I it this ended up being a revisit for me because the minute the minute I saw the escape scene at the beginning, I was like, I remember watching this with Deidre.
Yeah.
So, but it was a pleasant revisit.
I may recommend this to my grandmother, be like, check it out. She was a fan of the Green Book, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like
My
that.
grandparents
So
liked it.
yeah, I mean, it's hard not to,
It's
you
hard
know?
not to, man. It's a good little story.
Yeah. If you don't like peanut butter falcon, then what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I stand.
I know it's a
So,
change in gears from what we usually review on here. We do these movies a little, you know, we typically we don't try to stick to a certain genre or certain film style, but just because of our collective taste kind of being similar, we do have there is an area of films that we do a little more of
Oh
than
yeah.
stuff like this.
yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those things where it's a good break from just a bunch of
The same old
action and
same.
just so much shit going on screen and
Yeah. Yeah. Or like crazy horror.
They had
yeah,
a budget
Like
yeah.
of a little over $6 million.
they did good with it.
Yeah. I think it
It
was
looked
well
fucking
spent.
amazing. That shot where like the boat um gets stuck on that sand trap
Hmm.
and then they're walking across the water, like right
Yeah.
there towards the beginning of the film. I'm like, this looks so fucking cool, man.
Yeah. He was like, "Are
Like
you gonna help me? I can't swim." And he's like, "Come on, dude. What's
yeah.
rule number one?"
Yeah, party. No, that is not rule number one. uh Loki though.
Oh man, this
Let's
is
deep
low
dive
key
into
gonna be a good show.
yeah, it's gonna be great, right? So we see, you know, the movie picks up with where that section in Endgame happens where they're, you know, traveling through time to where the first Avengers movie takes place and they they're getting the Tesseract, they knock it out of the briefcase, Loki grabs it and disappears.
That shot of them standing in the elevator
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
zooms in on Loki, that wasn't in the movie. They actually picked that up and added that in.
It looked good
It
though.
lined right up with it, dude. Like that dude has not
Yeah.
aged a day.
No. He's the fucking silhouette of the pinnacle, dude.
We can definitely say that this is all Hulk's fault.
Yeah, definitely. On in this
Everything, all
yeah,
of that's on Hulk.
yeah.
Something I saw it on heavy spoilers, so I can't take credit for it. But whenever Loki, he's like laying in the sand,
Yeah,
you know, in the desert. That shot where it's zooming in on him, they compared
yeah,
that to, and you know, this is a bad guy that's gonna possibly change, you know, his ways.
yeah,
Well, it
right.
cuts to the same shot of Robert Downey Jr. laying in the
Oh,
sand when he blew himself up.
in that first Iron
Yeah,
Man?
and it's like you kind of, you know, and he ended up changing
Yeah,
his ways. It's almost like
yeah,
the
yeah,
same shot, dude. He put them side by side. It's
right.
but did y'all notice the chick, the main chick with the fucking disappearing stick? Y'all
The
recognize her?
the bigger black chick?
Yeah, do y'all know who that is?
No.
Was she on Doctor Who?
No, she was on Lovecraft
Community?
Country.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
chick's sister.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just looks different because the haircut.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
some reason when I saw her, I was thinking uh the uh at some point in one of the recent Doctor Who seasons, they had this a woman that was like the leader on Gallifrey, and she was like a general or some shit. I forget, but that's what I was thinking when I saw her.
I saw he threw out there two other little Easter eggs. When they first bring Loki in there,
Mm-hmm.
over behind him you can see the little portal open, and they bring a woman through. Woman's dressed exactly like Peggy Carter.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that. I
looks
was like,
just
what the
like her.
fuck is
Same
this
clothes,
about?
same
Yeah.
haircut.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
which may make sense because Captain America going back to that timeline. You know, we may find out later that they came and took her, and he didn't even get to spend his life with her because you know he
Yeah.
was fucking with the time shit. You know, it just depends on if they're cool with it. Let's talk about how powerful this place is, and I'm all I'm gonna say is I wished I would have held on to my Tennessee Valley Authority hoodie that I used to have
I know,
because that come in clutch right
right?
about now.
Yeah.
Little TVA
Good
Bruh.
for
hoodie. When I saw
big
that, I was like, oh,
bucks.
that's funny.
Yeah.
But
Um,
whenever like okay, this place that they're at, these
yeah.
like time cops, it's more powerful than the Tesseract, the Infinity. Like
The,
none of this stuff even works there. It's like,
yeah, it don't even matter,
yeah,
you know?
that's when Loki was like, this has got to be is this the greatest power in the universe? And that's when he was like,
Yeah.
he's like, let me rethink this.
Yeah, right.
And the
Um,
scroll, there was a scroll.
yeah.
When they walk into that room, where in the middle there's like this round desk and somebody's sitting behind it
Mm-hmm.
and there's people standing around. To the right, there's a scroll standing there in the tracksuit. In one of the comic books, there's some kind of tracksuit scroll, like gang or something, or group of people, and
Yeah.
they had one standing there. So we're possibly going to get, some little tie-ins. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense too. Like I like how it picks up and goes straight into the action.
yeah,
And when I mean goes into the action, I mean like they get straight into the damn meat and potatoes of the whole situation here. And it lets you know real quick, like, and I love how they give a lot of explanation through that little cartoon.
yeah, that was
You know
nice.
what I mean? Yeah.
We get
And
the info dump for sure.
yeah, and it was cool, and I like how so there's like 3 beings
hmm
that combine all these different timelines that were fighting for, supremacy into one timeline, and
The
so
sacred timeline.
yeah. So the idea of it is like people are gonna veer off the main timeline, but as long as everything lines back up, it's okay to do that. But once you veer off the timeline with an uncertain agenda,
Yeah,
then that's whenever they intervene in it and they kind of start either, they basically like they say they take you back and drop you in there, which means they cancel your existence in that alternate timeline to end it, right?
yeah.
Since you're the one that created it.
Well, you know that
So,
little thing that they set down that looks like a globe, like it's got a light in it.
yeah,
So whenever they grab Loki, and he sees like the indigenous people that are there, and he quickly gets up
yeah.
on a rock. He's like, "I'm about to rule these motherfuckers," I'm about to be in charge here.
Yeah, yeah,
Whenever
right.
they grab him to take him in, they put that little thing down. So that's like a timeline nuke. That just cancels that timeline.
So
It's
it
gone.
just erases it.
Yes, completely.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Well, the thing
why at the
is
end,
we still haven't seen completely what that does. Like it's only been shown being armed, and then we never actually see what happens. And I'm
yeah,
wondering if they're gonna paint the TVA as like a villain, and Loki's gonna perceive it as like they're just killing all these people.
I mean, I think that the other Loki perceives it that way for sure. I think that he perceives it 2 different ways.
well,
I think that he
why would he want that? He wanted that thing. Like he
right.
took it,
Well, he
so he
can't
could
go
nuke a
back to his
timeline with that.
yeah,
I'm thinking it's one of two things Loki's motives. I think he either wants to take over the TVA to keep doing evil Loki shit, or I think because he saw a little bit further ahead in his timeline,
He
I
saw
think he
where he
wants to try
dies.
to kill. I think he's going to try to kill Thanos.
Yeah, because he did. He
I
saw his
mean,
own death play out, and he was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I
yeah,
wasn't supposed to watch that far."
yeah, it's got a little too real for me.
Well, he found out he was a bitch. Like,
Yeah. Well, and I think that like so you have to be under the impression that the evil Loki he took advantage of the situation in some way and got out. But what if he never saw what the end of his story, right? Because this
Mm-hmm.
Loki watched the film all the way to the end. And if there's, an infinite, if you want to consider it like an infinite amount of possibilities that happened when he went there, what if he recognized that this place was like all powerful and that he could do all this
Yeah.
stuff. And he decided to break off and do what he needed to do, but never saw the end of his story. So he's under the impression that he could go back at any time and then
Dude
inject
told him.
himself back into the timeline, and then dude told this version of Loki
The TVA
that
version?
yes, yeah, the good I'm gonna call him
The
the good
good one, yeah,
version.
because he
Yeah,
broke him.
well, he's branching off from another branch.
right.
He
So
told him,
Like,
he's
it's,
like, I don't
yeah,
really want to do
well,
bad stuff.
yeah,
That's just
like
part of the
because
character
I've
now.
wondered if like I feel like Marvel's gonna make future Loki an entirely different character, but I'm also thinking that like it could be the classic thing where we're seeing what the current Loki's going to become, like no time travel involved, just we're gonna watch him become that motherfucker.
Well, we could, but I think that like he's gonna redeem himself. Like that, his hero story is gonna be like him redeeming himself. Like, and he already redeemed himself in the current timeline with Thor and all like their
Yeah, like
Odin
all that
dying.
shit still plays out.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't know. Sorry.
well, it to me, what it feels like is like, okay, that alternate timeline is gone. Loki is at the TVA. Loki has been drafted. He saw his end. He knows that this is the end of the line for him. There's no going back, no nothing. So, like, he could look at it as either one of two ways. He can try to take this place over and do all this crazy shit and have this fucking crazy ass Loki idea where he's going to like destroy the main timeline and cause it to splinter off into separate timelines again and do all this weird shit. Or he can play ball with them and become part of the TVA. And that version of Loki will always exist because time
I don't think they
almost,
age there,
time
what
stops
it looks
there.
like.
Yeah. Um,
Someone gut
I
you like
mean
a
that
fish.
that makes sense, but like what had me running with it is because with a lot of time travel stories, they tell you everything in the very beginning,
right.
everything. And one of the things they made sure they hammered in is that Loki's gonna fuck you over, like he's gonna betray you. He's a mischievous scamp, like
Yeah.
and they showed that throughout, and even made it kind of have a duality to it where he, when he finds the Infinity Stones and he does, question like, is this a higher level of power that I'm dealing
Which is
with?
why he stayed when he went back to the room. I mean, he said it. He was
And
like, "Is this the greatest power in the universe?"
I just I see it the same since a lot of it's leading up to Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Uh, I think this is gonna be like an empire moment in the little stepping stone between here and multiverse. WandaVision was gonna seem like it was gonna end on a downer, and it kind of did, but everything still was kind of okay. I think Loki is gonna end with it like he like if Wanda does the stab wound in the timeline, Loki's gonna be the one that grabs the hilt and rips it like,
Right.
and because they made a point to show us that, like that WandaVision is considered a Nexus event. Loki's is going to be considered the same as well, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly the key thing they're going to reference in Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. But also, I'm thinking about it this way too. It's like, what if kind of what was mentioned earlier is if they try to paint the TVA as bad guys, right? And what if them going after the future Loki is actually him trying to right wrongs his own way.
Yeah, I mean, how did he get a hold of a time machine?
Yeah, well,
Had to be
yeah,
through them, right?
yeah. But like he went rogue. Let's say like he got the technology. He started doing all this crazy shit. He's going back and he's like planting seeds, throughout all these, in the past.
Right.
He's going into the past and he's planting all these little seeds because we really don't know what he's doing there, right? We just know that he's shown up at these different places. People are dead, and he's got his hands on one of those like timeline eraser bomb things, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
What if he like future Loki's not bad? Future Loki is trying to set everything right so that the snap doesn't happen to begin with. And then his contingency is like, I've got this, when the timeline starts getting funky again, if it's inevitable that this is going to happen, like how much influence is Loki going to have? Because if he goes back in time and starts fucking with stuff, and like there's a way that he can do it to where the guardians or whatever you want to call it, the people that are the gods that are watching the timeline, if he can,
Keepers.
Yeah.
yes, if he can do it in a way that the timekeepers don't take notice of it, then he could
Don't slip
actually
through the
like,
cracks.
yeah, then he could actually in turn be saving, like, I don't know. There's so many different ways that it could go to where
Well,
like, yeah,
like they could take on a cosmic level the key thing that like whenever like during the interrogation sequence when Owen Wilson's making him see all these pivotal moments and how he's going, dude, you're not shit really in the eyes of the universe. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
that's why the timekeepers don't ever really fuck with you. That's why we haven't stepped in because you're a small
Yeah.
fish in a really
P.B.
big
Cooper.
pond. And a lot of they peeled back a lot of layers of Loki's character because they're going to show you that that character is not going to change in a way, and that's what he's going to default to is the like those characteristics that he has, and he might change here and there. And I think that because to keep in tie with what his character is, he'll do things that will be for the greater good, but they're still going to be for his own benefit.
yeah,
It's because it's a stepping stone to the long con that he's pulling. Obviously, that's what this show's going to be is a long con, and we're probably not going to really know his full motive until like episode 5, probably.
yeah,
We're just going to see him play the act, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Low key it up. You know, at the end of the episode, we see the person standing there in the cloak, and the only reason we think it's Loki is because the guy was like, "Well, we're after you."
Yeah,
But is that Loki? What if it's not? What if that wasn't
Well,
him standing there? Because why didn't
I,
they just show him? I mean,
well, here's a thought
so I'm not
too. I
convinced
wonder,
that was him.
but what if this show? I mean, if it very well couldn't be, but if it is him, I wonder if this show is testing the waters of like I wonder if we can have different looking variants of the same character on screen so that like kind of test a test run for Spider-Man
yeah,
if the Tobey Maguire Andrew Garfield shit is actually true.
yeah,
We watched a thing earlier where what's his name, Willem Dafoe. His suit's gonna look completely different.
yeah,
I mean, they're like from different timelines,
yeah,
so they'll look different.
yeah. So it'll be the same actors. Like Electro is going to look completely different. Doc Ock is going to look similar.
The suits are
He'll
different.
probably, yeah, he'll probably be the most similar looking one. I would have to imagine. But so
If
the
anything,
villain,
he could be identified with being specifically pulled from Toby's timeline. And
yeah,
who's to say Willem Dafoe just wasn't another version from another timeline?
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what they're saying. Like basically, the timelines have got all fucked up in Spider Man, and Doctor Strange has these people held prisoner, and Peter Parker's gonna like be like, well, this is kind of fucked, and let them out, and then it's gonna cause basically the Sinister Six to start running rampant, and it's different versions of the Sinister Six. They're all gonna look the same. Like they're all going to be
That would
portrayed
be
by this. They're all going to be portrayed by the same actors, but they're going to look different. Like their costumes
Yeah.
and things are going to look different.
it would be really cool if we have a moment where you know how in Infinity War, uh right from the jump we've got, Iron Man and Pepper fucking running, and then just Doctor Strange just jumps out and is like, "Hey, yo, we gotta talk." Like,
Yeah,
what if in Spider-Man a similar situation happens? Fucking Doctor Strange sling rings in, and he's like, "Come with me, Peter." And they get in there, and they're like, he shows them that they're all locked the fuck up, and he's like, "There's a weird thing here, man, and they're all connected to you. Like they all keep talking about you."
yeah. I mean, from a lot of the reports that
Yeah.
have come
The
out,
leak
it's going to be
stuff.
something. Yeah, it's going to be something very similar to that for
Yeah.
sure.
Or more or less just like, tell me what you know about every one of these people, Peter, right now, or something. Like get really serious with them,
Yeah,
because think about it. By the time we get to Spider-Man, uh, the new multiverse, as the exposition thing is gonna. I mean, that's what they've told us. That's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a multiverse war, and I don't know. I wonder if like by the time we get to Spider-Man, like Doctor Strange is gonna have probably fought several battles in this war already, because we're clearly just gonna see it pick up from Spider-Man's perspective, Spider-Man's. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's gonna be a fun ride, that's for sure.
yeah. It's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how this all leads up into what's going to be coming into the MCU. Especially like Loki leaves a lot of implications. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because they're saying, on that screen and everything, if a timeline veers too far off and it goes across a certain threshold, then that's when it upsets the entire balance of everything, right?
yeah,
So what if, like, just complete fan theory here, but what if, like, you have three separate timelines going on, and we're gonna say that you've got the Fantastic Four timeline, the X-Men timeline, and the MCU timeline. And some event happens, whether it's in Loki or Doctor Strange, that causes that threshold to get to a certain point, and it tips over and it breaks off like it did before. And then, like, the time guardians or whatever reassembling the timelines is what's causing all this stuff to merge into one universe,
Yeah.
because they could
yeah.
explain to me the
Or
vibes that I got from watching this first episode was this is going to ripple, and I think that the start of this ripple is going to be in the Eternals.
yeah, and I would see, because I mean, it's got like all of this is starting to have very like heavy implications for Secret Wars,
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
and I eh, I just don't know how long they can keep up a very complicated storyline like this, to build up to the saga, to build up to where it feels natural that they introduce someone like the fucking Beyonder.
Well,
Yeah.
Like,
see,
you know
this
what I
time they
mean?
have
Like,
the TV
because
shows. They didn't have that
because
the
when
last
they
10
what
years.
that,
So that
that's very
helps.
true. Because yeah,
Well,
because imagine like just dropping the timekeepers on you, like in a film where we just have to go with that.
yeah.
Instead
Like
of
Well,
that's
having 10 episodes to explain it.
yeah, yeah,
eh, well, and think about it this way though. I mean, we never imagined that Endgame was going to go the way that it went. Up until they started actually releasing, getting spoilers and things for Endgame. So we never knew that it was going to be 5 years in the future. They're going to have to do a time heist, and then so basically everything, the events of Infinity War was just completely retconned to a certain extent in Endgame, and everything ended the way it was. And I think that what Marvel got out of that, and what came a lot of fans were able to be open to the fact that, like, if you give us um a world shattering crisis, and then we get to watch the heroes resolve this world ending crisis, then that's going to be more enjoyable than watching the world end, right?
Yeah.
So now imagine this. You
Well, it's
start
like we get to see the spectacle of the disastrous aspect of what could happen, and then we get like a heroic resolve where we get our big hero moments,
right.
and that's probably the cleverest thing with superhero films is that they
Yeah.
get the more or less like with proper setup and good writing, they can set it up where you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is like imagine them starting phase 4 or phase 5. And I'm gonna say phase 4, and I'm not gonna count Black Widow in on this. I'm gonna let it be like phase 3.5. But phase 4 happens and this world changing event happens that takes phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6 to completely straighten everything out. Because I mean, think about it. Like you've done as much with some of these characters that you can do in terms of the bigger picture, more or less. Yes, you can always have another villain show up that they're going to fight. Yes, you can always have someone that's going to try to destroy half of the population in the world, all living creatures and all this stuff. That's been done. If you have a world changing event crisis situation happen right out of the gate and it takes several movies and several TV shows and all this other shit to happen before it's actually resolved, then you
Yeah,
get the content created for you just based off of like,
and
okay, these are the implications of what could happen and we're going to take that and run with it.
because and to go with what you're saying, who says that the timeline has to be restored like the snap, like all at once in an instant?
Yeah.
Dealing with something like the time stream and all that kind of stuff. Uh, it's events that because Loki did a cool thing of setting parameters. As long as those branches don't veer off to a certain degree, they can more or less exist for a brief moment, long enough to tell a story.
Yes. Yes. So
And
that they
and with
future proof themselves.
and Marvel's good at being like, here's a thing, here's what it means. We'll use it from time to time. Go with it.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember back in, I think it was like January, when they were talking about Chris Evans playing Captain America again?
Yeah.
And then that got like real hush hush real quick. So
Yeah.
by doing this stuff that they're doing now, they could bring back, people that are dead in this timeline because,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, they could make an appearance again
Yeah. Yeah.
from another timeline, or like the thing they're doing with Spider-Man. That's
Yeah.
so I
So
think at
It would
some point
be
we will see someone
well, it would
show
be
up,
cool
and
if they
it'd be cool.
it'd be cool if they kept bringing back old man Steve every now and then.
yeah.
And it would be interesting if him coming back at the end of Endgame to give the shield to Sam uh would be the start, like like once that, like, because there's certain points in Endgame that keep getting referenced, and we've already seen the shot where Steve gives Sam the shield and Falcon and Winter Soldier. And who's to say they don't branch off that footage more? Like once that happens and they part their ways, what if Steve Rogers is sitting there and the TVA walks out and he's like, "All right, guys, I've ran from y'all long enough." Like you find out that, after they got Peggy, like Steve just time hopped and just stayed a step ahead of them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or in order to be with Peggy, who's to say that he's not there working for him? I mean, who would be better to employ at a place like that than fucking Captain America? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, dude, if yeah,
I mean,
and
there.
that's I really like that I don't know much about the TVA.
Yeah, same.
So I'm really enjoying, the pondering, because yeah, we could get online and find out every fucking thing in like 5 minutes, but I'm gonna keep it reserved. Like it's one of the reasons I enjoyed Guardian so much. Uh, and I think it'll make the viewing experience better.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know much about the TVA either, and I'm glad that they're pulling all these like really like
well they
Obscure,
have
obscure.
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
got to take the deep
And they
dive now.
well, and not only that, but they can do it without um they can do it without hesitation.
And it's allowing the modern stories to keep being written so that there's always a back catalog of content.
Oh yeah, for
It's just
sure.
why it's widening an already massive gap between the stories that we're getting that were published. And I mean, I know we can pull straws at it because most of the Marvel things is that they're patchwork, like loose adaptations rather than a full blown, you know,
Yeah.
conversion. But yeah, there'll always be a new superhero film. I don't think that's ever gonna go away.
No,
I
not
don't think it'll. I know that we all kind of went on the idea, and you proposed it a while back of the idea that the superhero film will go like the Western, but at the same time, pretty sure on any cable network, I'm sure you can find a Western that's on TV right now,
yeah. Well, that's
and
one
I
of the
mean, and
biggest.
I guess it's still, I guess your statement's still true. It will go the way of the Western, in that it'll always be around.
Yeah, it'll have its huge boom. And then once the market gets oversaturated, then you'll see a downtick on everything and something else will come along. But we'll always get westerns from time to time. We'll always get superhero films from time to time. Like I feel like that's always going to be inevitable. And then
Even with the TV shows, though, do you think do you think that Marvel is? Do you think they learned something in the 2020 uh cycle about because they didn't have any films come to theaters, and that allowed a lot of stuff to get made. It allowed the shows to have their breathing room and get their viewership. Do you wonder if Marvel might adopt that thing? Like, because for a while we had a steady stream of, hey, next year these three movies come out. Next year these three movies come out, and so on and so forth. If they're going to be like, all right, next 3 years we got the movies coming. Year four, probably going to take a break. We'll still have the TV shows going, but no popcorn.
well, I think that they can trust the fans enough that if they wanted to do something like that, if they wanted to have a gap in there, as long as fans are still engaged, then they're going to be able to do that, especially with the TV shows. Yes, and I think that at a certain point, like I'm gonna say within 5 years, I'm gonna say by phase like midway through phase five, there's going to be a marriage between the two once they start getting the new blood in there, and the new blood being like Fantastic Four, X-Men, and other newer characters. Now they have the ability to share them between big screen and small screen. We don't know what the extent of like She-Hulk is going to be. We got WandaVision. Wanda's a major player. We got Falcon Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier are both major players. We've got Loki. Loki was a major player. But once you start getting into She-Hulk, Moon Knight, things like that, and they establish with young blood and put it in their contracts, it's like, look, we're going to have you appear in X amount of Marvel movies, and you may be required to, appear in X amount of series. Once they are able to merge the two, I would not be surprised if they got away from releasing films as frequently, except for major event films, and started releasing the majority of their content exclusively on the streaming service. Because think about it, if you got one film a year that was Endgame or Infinity War sized, and the rest of the time you got three or four, maybe even five different TV series. You're going to make a shitload of money on your series, and that movie's going to make like 18 bajillion dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you
It's going
have
to be an
plenty of
event.
time in the series to, build
Yes.
shit up. And I
Yeah.
prefer the series, man. So
I
Yeah,
mean,
I do
I
I feel
want to
too.
like,
make more of them.
but I feel like they would rather. I think they would still rather take their shot at scoring the billions three separate times. I think that's still a lot of money to be lost, but I do feel that they will converge for sure.
Yeah.
And I also think they could probably branch off too, and have with the scope of the Marvel universe, which in order to tell the story they've been telling, they've had to kind of make everything feel cramped. Like, all right, Earth, all right, space, all right, this place, that place, you know. And as more of these new characters come out and more of our world building occurs, you know, we'll be able to have series where, yeah, maybe simultaneously, you know, this group of heroes was battling these guys, but, you know, they were over here, you know, dealing with street level shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could see that happening.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that the future is so uncertain, especially with like the pandemic and everything like that. I think that the future is so uncertain on what their actual course of action is going to be.
Yeah,
Um, but I think that at the end of the day, they're going to do whatever makes financial sense to them. And
absolutely.
I think that WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier got more of a response than they were anticipating.
And you know, I mean, at this point, they're not requiring people to wear masks in public here anymore. I think
Right.
it's safe to say it's over. If you want to, whatever. I don't say the word because they
It's
might delete our
no,
video,
dude.
but
It's the end game.
yeah, but even though that's over with, I don't think a lot of people are still not gonna want to go to the theater, man. They've already got used to being able to watch it at home, and
Yeah.
that's a huge plus.
Yeah.
It's just being
And
able to watch it.
I saw an article the other day, or actually earlier when I was looking for movie news, and I should have dropped it in there, but I didn't think about it. But basically, it was like, is Warner Brothers killing the box office? And the idea behind the article was, is them releasing things simultaneously on their streaming service and in the theaters causing theater numbers to go down? And I mean, that's an unfair assessment.
Yeah,
Because, yeah, we live in rural fucking nowhere where we're not required to wear a mask at work. We're not
yeah,
required to wear a mask in public. Everything's fine. If you get it, you get it. I think the last news report that I saw was 30% of the state has been vaccinated.
hmm,
In the grand scope of things, that's not a lot of people, but it's 30% of the state's been vaccinated. But think about LA and New York and Chicago and places, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
think about places like that where it's just like there's still heavy restrictions on a lot of things.
For some reason, and the death rate's gone way.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, what? When's the last
Yeah,
time you heard a report where they were like, 1,000 people died today? It's been a
since
while.
the election.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
So,
I think to go with what Griffin said, we do live in a rural part of America, and there's a lot of places like this in the country. And with that being said, I think there's no short supply of people that want to go to the theater, that want to have that experience. I do think there's an equal amount of people that do want to watch them at home.
yeah,
I feel like it's a 1-1 down
yeah.
the middle. I think the convenience at home probably yields a little more for sure.
yeah,
But I think because of our unique scenario that we're at in this point in history, uh, I think that it's people are wanting to be out. They're wanting to finally, get the fuck out of their house.
yeah,
Some have been doing it for a while. Some are just now being able to. So it's a clusterfuck, really. But it, I think if they get to where they're putting these movies back out in theaters more regularly, because I mean that's still not that big of a thing anymore. Like they'll announce that a movie's hit theaters, but I don't know, maybe because I'm unplugged from cable, I'm not bombarded with the in theaters now commercials
Yeah, I
that
don't know.
most cable watchers get. But for me, with interacting online, it doesn't feel like the theaters are really full swing right now. They're still in recovery mode.
Well, a lot
yeah,
of them shut down.
Yeah.
yeah,
They just didn't have a choice, and they may reopen. But a lot of the times too, I'm looking at movies like whether it's released at home or in the theater. I probably wouldn't go to the theater to watch it anyway.
yeah,
It's just nice that I don't have to wait like 6 months to a year to see it.
yeah.
I can watch it.
I think at the end of the day, what's really going to dictate where the market goes is Black Widow. I think that that's going to be the first film that's going to be um, released at a time to where the majority of the country is going to be opened. It's also going to be something that is going to be premium, meaning
Yeah, you have
that
to
you
pay
don't have to
extra.
just you have to pay, yeah, you have to
Yeah.
pay extra for it. And I think that if Disney's going to take this financial information back and make decisions based off of that. And I think that if Black Widow does good, really, really good at home, then they'll continue to do something similar to that. But I think that if it doesn't do good, then that they will just abandon that idea now that all the restrictions are being lifted. But I'm interested to see the comparison between the two. And I hope that we get that information. Like I would love to see a weekend breakdown of like how many purchases were made through Disney Plus, how many, what the dollar value or what the dollar amount for the theaters was for the weekend and compare and contrast the two because I think it would be nice if they could appeal to both audiences
Yeah.
because people that don't want to go to the movie theater to watch it are just not going to go to the movie theater and
Yeah.
watch it and wait for it to come out on a streaming service or Redbox or wherever the fuck they came it from. They're going to buy it or whatever.
They're
But
they're still gonna make their money overseas, dude.
oh
They
yeah,
they
for
make more
sure,
over there
right?
than they make here anyway. Like,
Yeah, so
Well, they have to find a way to make back some of that marketing money. And by having that somewhat limited premiere is their chance to get as many people that want, almost like a concert event that, get them out there, get the most bang at the beginning, and then after that, just let the residual stuff just flood in.
well, and
And
that's
it I mean, right now it seems pointless because of everything being affected like it was. But I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it. I do wish that we could get a full on movies coming out, like they've been doing, and they have been doing pretty good about it, and it's been cool to see that actually play out in certain movies.
yeah.
Uh, but I still understand that with these types of money, with these types of films, particularly superhero films that do cost a fuck ton of money to make, I see that they've got to do the bullshit because with the convenience of being able to get on and watch the movie, people that don't like to hold out but fucking will because fuck you movie theater. I mean that they're not going to get as much of a return out of that.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to make the movie going experience a spectacle because after being locked down, after enjoying everything from the comfort of your own home, yeah, you're going to have those people that are itching to go out and do stuff. But I guarantee you that people that have been sitting on their couch for the past year watching TV are probably not the first ones that's going to run to theaters to watch something. They're going to go play Top Golf or go to fucking putt putt
yeah,
or go to a comedy show or a concert or something
bar.
like that. I think that like in order for theaters to remain relevant going forward, it's going to have to be an experience that you can't miss. And yeah, there's certain movies that come out and you're like, "Damn, I wish I would have went to the theaters and saw that." Like Godzilla versus Kong. I would have loved to have went to the theaters and saw that. That's a theater movie. But I was happy that I got to watch it at home. Like I would rather pay $30 in the comfort of my home to watch something than pay $60 and go to a movie theater. Once it's all said and done, you're dropping over $50 to go to the theaters. That's gas, food, popcorn, drink,
But
movie
when
ticket.
it comes to the theater, whatever production company it is, they're not making all that money. They actually make more when you rent it at home.
Yeah,
They get all that money.
yeah,
That $30 goes straight to them. They probably get what, 10 when you buy a ticket at the
yeah.
theater? Maybe. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, if a
Theaters make
ticket's
most of their money through the concession.
yeah, I think
How
because
they
we
make money.
talked about it on the podcast. I think that the there's a 30%, like a 70-30 transaction happening, right?
Yeah.
So if a ticket's $10, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to sell a shitload of tickets to even justify it when you can just sell it for $30. And even if you get a group of 4 or 5 people that go in on a $30 movie, you're still making more. You know?
But we have to remember too, man, that like the world we live in, these movies are made by companies that want money.
Yeah, maximum amount of
And
profit.
are there better ways of going about it than this? Sure. Do I know any of those ideas? No. But there's certainly something that could be done, I'm sure. But Warner Brothers, Disney, list the fucking
Paramount.
pantheon if you want. They've got to make that money first before they can break it off to make these movies that we do care a lot about and that we do enjoy when especially when they turn out to be films that are labor of love, where the stars align and the right crew gets assembled, and that big machinery takes some pretty rough fueling.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what happens. I think Black Widow is going to be, a big thing because I mean Warner Brothers have already announced what they're doing, and for the foreseeable for the
Yeah.
next year, we're going to get simultaneous releases. They're going to make their money off of subscriptions, and they're going to make their money off of box office. But I think Disney's the real powerhouse,
Well, there's the
and
big
is going.
three: Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
They can afford to do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Smaller companies can't.
Yeah.
Like when you talk
So
about Disney spending money on marketing, most of the stuff that they put trailers on, they own.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be cheaper for them.
Right.
I mean,
Y'all want.
I'm definitely not saying that they're not greedy. Like that's not at all. But
Yeah. But I think that their greed would make a better viewing experience for individuals,
yeah,
in my opinion. Because think about it, if they're going to get all of $30 and I rent that film by myself, they're going to get all $30 out of that. That's going to be netting them more money if I'm the only one watching it than me going to the theaters. The theater's going to make money, and then fucking McDonald's is going to make money, and the fucking gas station's going to make money. You know what I'm
Gas
saying?
and
station's gonna
see,
make all the money.
but see, it's also damned if you do and damned if you don't, because at $30 a pop for that, I would still say no, thank you. I'll take my chance at Redbox or buying it for 20.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same because I don't go to the theater and watch every movie.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I would drop $30 on a movie that if it's a choice between going to the theaters and watching it or watching it in my home, I'm gonna weigh like, okay, is this a theater movie? I really want to watch this movie. Is there, these are the only two ways of accessing this film. So I'm gonna weigh my options and vote with my dollars on that. I mean, I could order a pizza, you know what I'm saying, and watch it at my house and be done with it as opposed to getting ready and going out and having an experience, especially whenever your, you know, significant other isn't necessarily interested in going to the movies. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff to weigh in there. Um, but at the end of the day, like depending on what happens, it's going to be a win-win situation because we're still going to get movies. That was a big thing. Like, what's going to happen to the movie industry? Is streaming going to take over? Are theaters going to be able to recover? Blah blah blah. Yeah, theaters are going to be able to recover. Big chains are going to be able to recover. That's inevitable.
Well, they found a way to change. They found a way to alter the DNA and keep the beast alive.
Yeah, of
Feed the
course.
beast.
Yeah, you think you can beat the beast?
Yeah.
So,
They
but
adapted.
let's talk. And over they manifested
Yeah.
it. You want to hit some movie news real quick?
Sure enough.
All right, number one here. I think Trav dropped this in. Loki, Infinity Stones reveal finally fixes Avengers Endgame worst plot hole. There's nothing like a good MCU joke. Whether Thor's calling Rocket Raccoon a rabbit or the Avengers are all noshing on shawarma after the Battle of New York.
Uh,
Shawarma. Marvel wouldn't be Marvel without a lighthearted moment to balance out all the superhero violence. Sometimes these jokes pull double duty, and what appear to be sight gags on the surface can actually carry huge significance for the MCU. That's what happened in Loki's premiere, which changed how we look at Infinity Stones forever, debunking countless fan theories along the way. While on the run from Mobius M. Mobius, I forgot that was his name. In Loki's first episode, Loki attempts to track down the Tesseract. In the process of hunting for the all powerful cube, he runs into Casey, a TVA pencil pusher. When Loki
Yeah.
rifles through the area where the TVA keeps its time travel evidence, he discovers a drawer full of Infinity Stones. Apparently, these items Thanos has been pursuing for a decade's worth of MCU films are little more than paperweights to the TVA. A hilarious gag. This revelation wraps up many plot holes. The Avengers were able to assemble the Infinity Stones by going back in time to retrieve them from different points in the franchise's chronology, which begged one important question: why doesn't everyone do that? With this reveal, Loki makes it apparent there have been many attempts to do just that, but the TVA has apprehended all who've tried to assemble the Infinity Stones for their own nefarious purposes, leaving incomplete sets of stones plucked out of time and rolling around in a file cabinet. What Loki additionally reveals is that the Avengers were able to retrieve and return the Infinity Stones through the use of time travel purely because the TVA and, more importantly, the Timekeepers allowed them to do so. This explains all this explains all the fan theories that popped up about Steve Rogers returning the stones to their original points and places in time. Just as no man can step into the same river twice, you can't return a stone to exactly where and when it came from, especially if that place is Vormir. As Loki implies, Steve returning the stones was intended to happen within the sacred timeline, so his doing so didn't create any variance or causing a breaching timeline like the ancient one showed Bruce Banner in Endgame. Apparently, the Avengers time heist only worked with the blessing of the mysterious timekeepers, though that reveal opens up as many questions as it answers. While there are no longer any loose threads remaining related to Steve's time travel, what about this timeline makes it so sacred? Who gave the timekeepers authority to untangle the multiverse? Buckle up, we'll hopefully find out in the 5 episodes of Loki still ahead. So yeah, they're just fucking rolling around in a filing cabinet drawer, you know? But how does he return the soul stone?
We may find that out.
Legit, right? Because I didn't
'Cause,
think about
yeah,
that. It's a soul for a soul, dude. One to
we have
one
to find that
exchange.
out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be somebody you
Well,
really love, right?
or what if that's what he
Peggy.
Yeah.
or well, if it's soul for a soul, what if that's what he does after he gave the shield to Sam? He was done with his life, and then the last thing he had was a soul stone, and he's like, "Take me."
Yeah. Take me with you.
I forgot
I'm
to bring
excited.
up Nobius.
Mobius.
Dude,
His
it
nose.
looks like it got slammed in a door.
I
How
mean,
did the
I
dent get worse? You noticed it,
it
right?
look. I
I
think
couldn't
they
stop
put
looking at it,
makeup
dude.
on it. I think they put makeup
It
on
looks
it,
like
dude.
it's gotten worse.
It looks rough, man. And speaking of the TVA, so Travis, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I recently, this past weekend, completed Bioshock. Right,
Uh,
full playthrough coming to Griffin 256 YouTube channel. Check it out. So the aesthetic of Bioshock is this place, Rapture happens during like the 50s, right? It's kind of stuck in frozen in time to a certain extent, where it's like the 40s, 50s time period. After playing that and then seeing the aesthetic of like how the TVA actually looks and how it's like that era kind of,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is kind of cool. And like the TVA, like that was it got blatantly ripped off by the Umbrella Academy,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like 110% they ripped off the TVA.
Hmm.
Um, and they had the same aesthetic and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed Umbrella Academy. I'm looking forward to the last season and all that good stuff. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there. Mobius M. Mobius.
Nobius.
Yeah, that fucking.
Nosibus. I don't know.
I mean, I
The
think
nose
they put
knows.
makeup on
Well,
it,
of course
dude.
he's wearing makeup, but the dent just looks
Yeah,
deep.
Yeah, it looks like they fucking
Couldn't quit staring at
like
it.
they took a sample from his nose and it didn't heal right. That's what it looks like. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Looks like it
Y'all want
hurts.
to feel y'all want to feel old for a second?
It ain't gonna be for a
It's
second.
it's the 16th anniversary of Batman
No
Begins.
fucking way.
Yeah.
Was
Batman
that
Begins is
2005? It was.
yeah. Batman Begins is trending 16 years to the day after it premiered in United States theaters as fans pay tribute to the Chris Nolan movie on social media. Um, s- this is a quote here. 16 years for one of Christopher Nolan's best and my favorite adaptations of the Cape Crusader, writes one fan. Batman Begins is more than just a superhero origin story, for it dives deep into the moral stances and nature of humans. It perfectly captures Batman more as a vigilante than a suit. I just wanted to mention
DC won't
that
allow
because I
Batman
mean,
to do what with
Oh my
Catwoman?
great
god, no,
film.
this is bad. Okay.
What?
I opened an article and started talking.
Oh,
16 years.
yeah, right.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. I remember when it came out, I was so excited.
Yeah, dude.
Mm. I was
Time
like,
flies.
the dude that did Memento,
Yeah.
Insomnia is doing a Batman. You know what I mean? Like,
Like what?
yeah, they what? So there's been some rumors going around on the internet, and I don't know where these rumors came from because they're kind of unprecedented. But Tyrese Gibson is claiming that Morbius is set in the MCU. Now, I don't know why he would say that, seeing as how the trailer had a poster of Spider-Man hanging up that had the word murderer spray painted on it. I
Hmm.
don't know why he would say that, but Sony debunked it. Says it seems Morbius is not really in the MCU. Sony Pictures have backtracked on comments made by Morbius star Tyrese Gibson, who recently appeared to claim that the new Marvel movie takes place in the same world occupied by the inhabitants of Marvel Studios and Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe. While this was not entirely implausible, as obviously Spider Man currently treads a line between Sony's universe and Marvel properties and the MCU, it did seem unlikely considering the often fraught relationship the two sides have had, allowing Spidey to remain part of the MCU for now. Following the comments made in an interview with comicbook.com, Sony felt it necessary to set the record straight that Morbius is not part of the MCU. The news of Sony's countering of the claims originally came from GameSpot's Chris Hayner, who reported that Sony had confirmed that Morbius is part of their own universe, just like the other solo movies such as Venom, and does not take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in any way. They also were reported to have denied another claim by Gibson, who also said that the release of the movie was being moved to October of 2022 in order to take advantage of that Halloween energy. According to Sony, the release is still going ahead as planned in January. Tyrese Gibson needs like
But he's in the movie, right?
yeah. He got a little bit of that
Shouldn't have spilled your
Fast and
beans,
Furious.
boy.
Well, he got some of that Fast and
I
Furious
mean,
money and he's like,
I think he just didn't. Maybe he didn't know he wasn't supposed to say that.
I don't think he gives a fuck. It's Tyrese Gibson, dude. Who I mean,
Yeah.
I don't I don't think he fucking cares.
Right there, he
And I
says
get it.
when he was asked if he could confirm that the Avengers are in the same world, he again gave an affirmative. I mean,
I mean, who knows, man?
he ain't gonna be in the next one, that's for sure. Nah.
I mean, what if they told him to go out there and say that so they could get some fucking buzz? Because I mean, wasn't Morbius supposed to come out Halloween of last year
Yeah, it
and then
got
they had to
pushed
push
back.
it off? So like maybe they're just trying to drum up more buzz for the movie because I mean the trailer's been out for like a year now, year and a half. So
And I could see like if people were like, "Oh shit, it's connected." We got to go
Yeah.
see it. And Sony's like, yes, come.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're like, Tyrese, you got that Fast and Furious money, right? And he's like, I mean, of course. And so go out there and spread that shit. And he's like, all right, I got you. Bet.
Playa.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that Tom Holland, they had to have a handler.
Yeah.
He had to do interviews with people. I think that he was doing that shit on purpose. Like the studio, Feige put him up to that shit. Like I can't say for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a feeling, down deep in my plums.
Yeah, I saw that clip where he's doing it with Cumbersnatch.
Oh
And
yeah,
they would
he's like,
ask
whoa.
him a question, and he would look at Benedict, and he would shake his head no. Don't, I'll take this one.
I mean, you can't blame him. He's excited.
Yeah.
Next up, Fantastic Four franchise teased by Disney CEO while discussing future Marvel plans. Considering the staggering success of Marvel's foray into the world of TV under the Disney banner, it is hard to comprehend that the entire principle of serializing the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a weekly audience was initially seen as a gamble on the studio's part. With the likes of Secret Invasion and Armor Wars heading to Disney Plus in the future, along with the likes of She Hulk, Bob Chapek recently spoke at the credit I don't know, Suezy? I don't know what the fuck that word is. Um, the 23rd annual communications conference about the long awaited arrival of the Fantastic Four and the MCU, as well as hinting that there are likely to see them in more than one movie or even more than one medium. Um, While Bob Chapek wasn't forthcoming with that kind of information, he did have one interesting thing to say. After telling the conference that there is still a lot of Marvel content to come, he said, as you increase output and go deeper and deeper into mining the Marvel mythology, it doesn't have to tap itself out. We've got great stories to tell, and we're telling great stories. He went on to point out that there's a lot of mining to do with Marvel's first family, and also noted that he spoke of the Fantastic Four as a franchise rather than a film, which would suggest that in the future we could not only see more movies but also TV spin-offs as we have with the current run of WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Disney Plus current top performer Loki. While there is no way of knowing how any of this will play out, it is worth considering that if they intended to avoid the errors of the last Fantastic Four reboot, they could introduce the characters in their already transformed superhero state. If you remember, Infinity War and Endgame both were made in a way that you had to know what happened previously before you went into the cinema. Otherwise, there was no way for you to know what was going on. With the Fantastic Four being pretty well known to anyone with any interest in superhero movies, would it be such a stretch to lose some of the backstory? And could this then be told in a prequel style series of at a later date? We wait with bated breath for more news as on this as when Feige and Co decided that they are ready to share. Why didn't they pull the Spider-Man reference there? Like we didn't get a Spider-Man origin story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why did they have to fucking say, well, you had to know what was going on for fucking Infinity War and Endgame to work? Why didn't they just say, like, as in fucking Spider Man, you don't have to have that bitch's backstory? You
Yeah,
just
we
be
all
done
know
with
it.
it. Yeah.
Been
So,
there, done that.
yeah. So, I'm hoping that we get Fantastic Four towards the end of Phase 4,
Well, that's what it
beginning of Phase
says.
5.
There's an article at the bottom there. It says it'll be the end of Phase 4.
I mean, that makes sense. It'll kick off Phase 5 in a big bad way.
Did you
If you
see
get
that
them
other
introduced.
article
No,
from
I didn't
Ryan
see
Reynolds?
that.
Look who he wants to
No.
play the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw this. He wants the cast of It's Always Sunny to play him,
Yeah. See,
and he
Emily
wants.
Blunt came out and said that superhero movies aren't for her.
Yeah,
Now, Krasinski, on the other hand, you know what I'm saying?
I'm. Yeah,
Dude, he'd be perfect.
he would. He would,
But could you
and they
imagine
could.
them playing it? Danny DeVito?
it would be the greatest. You know what I
It'd be a
mean?
comedy,
Because
right?
yeah,
It'd be
it would
like
have to
it'd
be.
have the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe.
Yeah. Well, they said that Dennis would play Doctor Doom because he might be a fucking murderer for real. We don't know.
Yeah.
So I would love, dude, and I would love it if Marvel would give the It's Always Sunny guys permission to make an episode of It's Always Sunny, like an hour-long episode where it was them playing the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that would never happen, but God, that would be fucking hilarious. And like they're playing those characters that get those powers. So Charlie gets the fucking powers. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, legitness. Next up, I mean, we all love Ernest, right?
Oh yeah.
So they put a Kickstarter campaign up for a Jim Varney documentary, The Importance of Being
I like
Earnest.
that title.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
Yeah, I
clever.
like that title a lot. Yeah. The Jim Varney documentary, The Importance of Being Earnest, is quickly moving closer towards production after launching the crowdfunding campaign for its budget. Previously, a teaser trailer was released for the movie, which delves into the life and career of Varney and his legendary run as Ernest P. Worrell. I can never say that name. It will show fans a new side of the comedic actor by including never before seen footage of Varney along with new stories about the late legend from some of the people that knew him best. I mean, kids now don't know who
They have no
Ernest is,
idea.
but he was a very important part of my childhood.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that if you've pulled, a good majority of kids from, you know, let's say our age, maybe a little younger and a little older than us in that time frame, I'd say within a 5-year gap, then they would all know who Ernest is, and they've all seen and they all have a favorite Ernest movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would really love to see that because, like, I mean, he was such an important part of my childhood. Like, we would go to the movie store, the one next to Walmart, where when Walmart used to be, um, on where the old Walmart was.
Yeah.
There was a movie gallery over there.
Mm-hmm.
We would rent Ernest movies from there. And, they had all of them. And there was like,
Oh
what,
yeah.
20 of
There's a
them?
bunch of them.
Yeah. So we would always go in
Ernest
there
goes to
and we would,
camp, goes to jail. The Christmas
yeah,
one.
yeah. What was your favorite Ernest movie?
Oh, I really like the camp one. I like the jail one. Man, it's hard.
Scared Stupid and
That
Goes
one's
to
good.
Jail are my favorites.
Yeah,
But
Scared
him,
Stupid
that
was my
fucking
favorite.
cover of him digging out with that spoon,
Yeah.
and
I
you know what I
know.
mean,
I
Vern?
take that back. I like the Christmas special too, and it's funny that you said Vern because I always thought that shot of him busting into Vern's house with the tree, just like completely bombarding Vern,
Yeah.
was fucking hilarious, man. And then like Vern, like the cameraman, like kicks him the fuck out, you know.
The little thing he
I
would
mean,
do.
like I do like Varney hits the door and he's just spitting funny shit left and right, but he's just like talking really fast to him and stuff.
Well, what was awesome, I watched, there's a channel that makes these little documentaries, and I watched one this past year about him, how he got his start. He was doing commercials as that
Yeah.
character in Kentucky. And what happened was they had some kind of event where they had like some Disney characters there.
Yeah.
And when the characters came out, Ernest got more of a fucking reaction from the crowd than the fucking Disney characters.
No
And they were like, wait a
shit.
minute. Because he did those commercials like, there's one where he's on the ladder, and he's talking to the
Yeah.
camera, you know what I mean, Vern? He's like selling you something. It's these little stupid commercials, and he always falls on the ladder, gets hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just, little
Slapstick.
slapstick commercials. He was just such a funny character that they were like,
Yeah.
we got to put this guy in a movie. I mean,
And they gave him his own franchise, man.
yeah. I mean, he made
I
a
mean,
shitload of movies. I think the last one was he goes to Africa.
yeah, I think so. I remember watching that one as well.
Oh, it was Ernest in the Army.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's right. But
But
those '80s, you know, because it later on, you know, you get a little older, and it was like he's always funny to watch though. Like, and then later in life, when you see him do a serious role, you're like, wait a minute, is that Ernest? What?
yeah, and he could pull it
He's a
off.
good actor.
Yeah, legit.
He looked like Les Claypool, but
Yeah.
I,
Oh, whenever. Oh man, fucking the Beverly Hillbillies, dude.
oh yeah, played the dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his classic outfit, dude, the blue vest, the gray shirt, the hat.
Yeah. So the Kickstarter goal is 60 grand. There's 9 days left, and they've raised 43, almost 44K. So I hope they get their money.
Yeah, he deserves.
Yeah. I hope that they get their money because I mean, I would love to see this documentary. So we'll see what happens, man. I just wanted to mention that because I know we're all Ernest
Oh
fans, you
yeah,
know. And if there's anybody out there that's listening that wants to contribute to the Kickstarter, then go check it out and throw some money at it because I mean,
they're
he
not asking
kept
for
us.
too much.
No, and he kept me and my brothers entertained for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like in our eyes as kids, he was up there with like Sandler and Carrie. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like he was just right up
Oh,
there with all
absolutely.
them. So
He was like and he had that, you know, that kind of Mr. Bean kind of,
oh my
you know,
God,
from the
right?
South, like,
Yeah, redneck Mr. Bean for
yeah, pretty
sure.
much.
Yeah,
Never
Mr.
did
Bean's
anything
funny.
right. Then they'd have the little moments where he'd get serious in the movie.
Yeah,
You know,
life lessons.
the lesson would be learned.
Yeah.
So, next up, what is Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie about? Loki writer offers early insight. Loki and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Right, they need to shorten that. Right,
Hmm.
Doctor Strange in the MOM in the mom. Doctor in the mom. Okay. Um, writer. So the guy that's writing Multiverse of Madness is writing Loki, and it's Michael
Oh,
Waldron.
that makes sense.
Yes, he has now offered some insight into his and Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, which is shrouded in mystery. I hope Shroud's not involved. Though Waldron maintains the project's mystery, he could not help but compare his first foray into Star Wars with the MCU, revealing that his adventure in a galaxy far, far away will once again focus on a family of great characters within the epic scope. I think the success of the MCU is for all the amazing science fiction and concepts and all that stuff. Ultimately, the success is built upon the characters, their humanity, their very relatable conflicts, friendships, and the family that is the MCU. And I think Star Wars at its best is a story about family. Han, Luke, Leia were a family. You love seeing them together and you hated it when they were split apart. It's great characters. That's nothing new. I'm not going to blow anybody's mind with that headline, but that's my biggest takeaway. Um, since working on the critically acclaimed animated series Rick and Morty, Michael Waldron has become a hot Hollywood property very quickly. While he was, of course, unable to give anything away regarding the plot of his and Feige's Star Wars project, Waldron heaped praises on the Marvel boss and his collaborative working practices. It is very early days on Star Wars. That's probably the thing I can say least about, unfortunately. The thing Kevin Feige shares in common with Dan Harmon and with Sam Raimi is an absolute collaborative spirit and a remarkable lack of ego given what he's accomplished. Kevin is a great listener. He wants to hear your ideas, take in how you might do something, and then help you make it better. Beyond all that, he's just a cool guy. It says Michael Waldron is currently busy with the standalone ventures of Marvel's fan favorite God of Mischief Loki. And then they go into that. So,
He's also writing that Hill show. Remember that the wrestlers? We watched the trailer.
yeah,
He wrote
yeah,
that. I mean, he's got a short writer list, but so far so good.
What's he got?
That's it. It's
Rick and
Rick and
Morty.
Morty, Loki, Hills, Doctor Strange.
I
I mean,
mean,
he's done some stuff. He's produced and on
yeah,
all of that, and so he
but
wrote
that's a good
Loki
resume.
first.
Okay,
Yeah. A lot of
I
people
think
think
Rick
that Doctor Strange is going to show up in Loki.
he might. We thought he was going to show up in WandaVision. So
Yeah. And
what
that
if
may be
him
where
and
that
Wanda
came from.
both? Yeah. Well, what if they both show up?
Yeah.
They're like, Loki, we need you for something. Put this dick in your mouth.
Yeah. Don't bite it.
That's the fucking Loki ending that I want, you know?
You
Just
gotta
a
save the timeline. Suck on this branch.
well, Doctor Strange gets out his sling ring and he starts doing the thing. And instead of going through it, he just sticks his dick through it and it just appears right in
Like
front
a
of
glory
Loki.
hole.
It makes a cosmic condom out of it.
Yeah. He's like, this is the only way I can get off now. Um, so they're making a Toxic Avenger reboot. I don't know if we've talked about this, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Bacon
Okay. I'm in
is
now. I mean,
is set to face Toxie in Legendary's upcoming reboot of the Toxic Avenger. Currently in production with Macon Blair writing and directing, the reimagining of the Trauma Entertainment classic will star Game of Thrones favorite Peter Dinklage as a new as a new incarnation of the first superhero from New Jersey. Jacob Tremblay and Taylor Page are also a part of the movie, and the cast is gearing up to start filming later this month. Kevin Bacon has been tapped to play a slick villain, a slick and likely over the top villain. Just last week, there were reported rumors of Elijah Wood boarding the project to play the antagonist,
hmm.
described as the head of a shady company who embarks on a murderous spree to become as powerful as Toxie. It is unclear if this is the role Bacon has been cast in, but as the call sheet doesn't include Wood's name, it could be that his casting didn't work out or the original report was erroneous. Or it could be casting both of them.
um, do you know who Macon Blair is?
Um,
It's the guy
I'm
from Blue Ruin that acted in it.
yeah, he was
Green
in
Room.
yeah.
I didn't know he was a writer.
Yeah. Didn't he help write some of because he was in all of that dude's films, right? And I was thinking that he helped write one of them. I may be wrong, but I don't know.
He's working on that.
Macon Blair, what he was a fantastic actor, man.
It's gonna be a weird movie.
What's that?
Yeah.
The Toxic Avenger reboot.
Uh, I mean, so he wrote the Monkey's Paw screenplay. I don't feel at home in this world anymore. Small Crimes, Hold the Dark, Toxic Avenger, and Brothers. Brothers has Josh Brolin, Peter Dinklage, and Glenn Close in it. Damn. Okay. I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, he was in
but
Logan Lucky. In a
who,
bunch of
Macon
movies.
Blair?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I really like him.
It's cool.
I really liked his character in Blue Ruin.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. It's gonna be strange to see a Toxic Avenger movie with a budget.
And Peter
Right.
Dinklage playing Toxie.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mini me?
That's going to be amazing. So that's all the movie news that I saw. Nothing else caught my attention. So
No.
we got several trailers to get through here. It was a good week, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't
I
seen
mean,
any of them. I dropped the trailer for that Ernest documentary in there.
okay.
They had one on that page. It's only like
Well,
a
hell,
minute.
fuck yeah. Hell, fuck yeah.
Now I kind of want to go back and watch some Ernest. I haven't seen an Ernest movie in a minute, man.
I mean, we should do them on the pod.
Dude, there's so many.
I mean, we do a whole Ernest month.
Just watch them all.
If we do all of Ernest before we do all of James Bond, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, but it's Ernest.
But it's James Bond.
Yeah. I guess you can't really compare the two. It's like apples to oranges.
Trav, you sound like you're in
Based on-
another room.
I'm wrong.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm
adjusting my mic.
Yeah. Evil Dead
I'm ready for-
documentary.
Yeah, I'm ready for the trailers. And I saw this on Twitter, and I had to send it to Adams because I don't have access to Discord at work because I work for a bunch of fucks. So, but anyway, that's how I got to this. Bruce Campbell shared it because he's the king, you
Yep.
know, baby.
All right, y'all ready?
I'm ready. Hell to the Deadites. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Ch-
I thought it was going to be the gorillas. That's our people.
Yeah, right.
Look at that jacket.
I know, right?
I don't take it that far.
No.
Hmm. Bruce Campbell's larger than life, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? That's who I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I would totally check that. And I hope that they do a little deep dive. I wish that they would do a legitimate, and I've seen some of them, but like a fucking full on documentary for specifically the first two films because it was so guerrilla. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear, like Bruce and other people talk about how they film certain things. And I would love to see like them talking about it and then the people trying to recreate it. You know what I mean? Like with those same techniques and everything. I mean, I guess I could do that. I could just strap my phone to a 2x4, but where's the fun in that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So last week we got the Tomorrow War, and then now we've got the final trailer for the Tomorrow War.
I think it's already on Prime.
Prime. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
it's got our
it was put
boy.
up July. It's going up July 2nd. So,
Oh, so they're gearing up.
yeah.
It's got JK in it. I'm ready.
All
I'm
right, here
good.
we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
He plays his dad. Holy shit!
Plays a badass.
Yeah.
I'll get my coat.
Mm-mm.
I mean, why?
Monster Hunter sequel looks pretty good. I just saw a comment down there that said that's probably his daughters from the future.
Yeah.
See,
Wait, they're flying squirrels?
I mean, it's a pretty interesting idea for a movie, you know?
hang on, dog.
I'd check it out. It's got Chris Pratt in it.
CP.
I'm gonna let him know that you're gonna call him that. Die in a gunfight. I don't know what this is, but it's a movie.
All right, y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Son's an anarchist.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Name drop.
Well, the new Romeo and Juliet looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
Well, it's
Oh,
like
I
how
call that
Philly
down there.
McCoy's meets Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'll tell you what
So
I won't
this
be
is
seeing
what?
that movie. I'm just-
Um,
Oh, free guy.
so this trailer dropped a couple of days ago. I don't know if it's the same trailer that we've gotten or what, but I mean it's Ryan Reynolds, so you know. I'm
We've
ready
been
for this
waiting
shit to
fucking.
come
It
out.
feels like 2 years.
I know, right?
All right,
But I'm ready for it.
3, 2, 1, play. I don't want something inside me. This is a different trailer. He's the one.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh shit. Mm. 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 Bring it on.
It's too far away, man. I'm ready for it now,
Dude,
you
we watched
know?
that trailer like a year ago.
I know, man. So I dropped this in here, Troll Hunters, Rise of the Titans, because it's got Guillermo del Toro's name attached to it, and it's
Mm.
got to be better than that fish fucking movie.
What's Netflix?
Yeah. So it's automatically going to be better than that fish fucking movie.
Aren't there like several of these Troll Hunter movies?
I
I don't
I was
know.
trying to think, but I don't. I guess so. I don't know. Tales of
Probably
Arcadia.
like a series of kids books or something.
Well, it's a series on Netflix. It's got 3 seasons,
Yeah.
52 episodes from 2016 to 2018. And the guy that played Chekhov, Anton Yelchin,
Mm-hmm.
the one that died,
Yeah.
he was in that.
And Kelsey
So
Grammer.
yeah.
Now we're getting a movie.
So yeah. So I'm interested. I mean, Guillermo. So
All
I'm
right.
ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
No way.
It's weird. Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Unreal 5 looks cool.
That's Kelsey Grammer. That lava beast looks cool.
Yeah.
Mhm. How do they work?
Okay.
Mhm.
Looks better than that fish fucking movie. Just saying. So we got another Space Jam trailer, guys. I like how the comments are turned off.
Are they?
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
no!
Yeah, they're definitely turned off.
Wow.
Well, I mean, people were probably talking about fucking the girl bunny and who knows what else. So,
Y'all
but
ready?
I'm ready for it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Shorter than Kevin Hart. Don Cheadle.
Robot Cheetle.
Yeah. No, don't change the song. The visual effects look really good.
Yeah, right.
Of course. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have to check it out, man.
Oh yeah.
Hereafter, here.
Are the comments turned off? Nope.
No. This top comment says, "I just chooses Christina Ricci. She ain't half bad."
I don't like that
Okay.
comment.
I don't know what that means, but fuck it. I'm
Somebody
ready whenever you
replied
go.
to it, said, "Well spotted." I didn't recognize her. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. I haven't seen her in a movie in a while. How can you not spot her?
Yeah, right.
That's what they all say. You're going to hell.
Wow.
Well, that's already been explained. Oh,
So, if they would have buried the lead and not said anything about that in the trailer of her being alive,
yeah. I thought
then
she
I
was
think
dead
that,
too.
yeah, because that would have been an amazing twist when you're watching the movie.
It's like, oh,
You know? Yeah.
she could see him.
Yeah. I mean, because like it's a romance type film with a
Yeah,
twist, right? But at the same time, it would be a double twist if you're watching the movie and you find out that she's, you know,
gonna die soon.
alive. Yeah. Or that she's alive to begin with. You know what I mean? Like they gave way too much away.
It's that guy,
She's
dude.
alive.
The guy holding the poster up. It's like, quit fucking showing the whole movie in the trailer.
Yeah, for real, right? Because you know that she's gonna like not die and he's gonna like fucking disappear from the face of the
Just
planet,
to save her.
exist. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We already know that movie. I think we on bad movies like that, and I'm not saying the movie's bad, I haven't seen it, but like bad movie trailers. We need to
Mm-hmm.
start a new segment where we take a bet on what's gonna happen, and then we watch the movie, and then see who gets the closest to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that had like City of Angel kind of vibes.
Yeah. So I don't know what this next movie is, but it's got Luke Evans in it, so and Nicole Kidman.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
All right, let's get it.
So I'm interested. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, play.
Shit, who ain't?
The fuck?
Yeah. Are they gonna be taking that
Hedonistic lifestyle.
what
She's a cult leader.
what's that shit they drink and they freak out?
Ayahuasca.
Yes. Oh shit.
Not a comedy. After 10 day, we have orgy. Yeah, they're tripping. Drink the mushroom tea, you know?
It's a series. Michael Shannon. Yeah, that's definitely not a comedy. Looks interesting though. That's
Tammy
like their
Faye. Is this like Jim Baker, Tammy Faye?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. It's got Jessica Chastain in it, dude. Yeah. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker rise from humble beginnings to
Oh, God.
create yeah, televangelist empire. I think this has got fucking Spider-Man in it. Andrew Garfield. I think. I'm not
Oh, yeah, he's
100%
in the
sure.
cast. That's in the description.
I think he plays
Vincent
Jim Baker.
D'Onofrio.
Ooh. Okay. Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. These motherfuckers were multi-millionaires. Dude, he's playing Jim Baker?
Yeah.
He raised a lot of money. Oh, she's the older version. Mm.
I mean, that shit looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, they're going to go
Like a
there.
good character movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I had to
Like,
double take to make sure it was Garfield.
I know, right? He's fucking committing to it, ain't he? Might have to check that out on the pod. It looks good, man. I
Mm-hmm.
like a good biopic, you know?
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe, Revelation. This is what Kevin Smith's been working on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I haven't watched this yet, so I'm excited.
I haven't seen it.
Let's fucking give her a peepster, you know?
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm. I like that animation style.
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe has always had the colors.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 80s. Need a hero. Yeah, dude. Mm. Hell yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty good, right? Part one, so
Ooh.
they're doing it in like hour or hour and a half long sections.
And they're not dropping it all at the same time.
I know, right?
Yeah, that looked bonkers.
It says, please give a raise to whoever edited this trailer. Also, next, Thundercats and Silverhawks. I'd love to see a Thundercats like that. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I mean,
That newer interpretation of Thundercats was pretty well done.
I haven't checked it out. I may have to do that.
It wasn't bad, man. I had a good time with it.
This next film or this next trailer, Invasions, it's got Sam Neill in it. Sutter Kane,
I
dude.
was about to say, do you read Sutter Kane? This guy said, finally a trailer that doesn't ruin the movie by being a mini movie version of itself.
Is he the guy? Oh,
Gotta
that's a
be.
chick. Is she the chick on the fucking street corner?
All right, y'all
I'm
ready?
ready. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Appel. Oh,
Mm.
okay.
I'm digging this.
Yeah. Whoa. Shit, we gotta watch that.
Yeah, what the fuck,
When's that coming
man?
out?
That's the best of the best trailer so far. October 22nd.
I'll add that to
Is it
the
a
list.
is it a film or a series?
We'll go to the damn DVD.
Dime DD?
I think it's a series.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's a series.
Yeah. I mean, It looks fucking amazing though.
10 episodes. That's how you fucking do a trailer, man.
Yeah, for real.
They
We
just
don't
give
know what the
shit
fuck's
away.
happening. We know kids' nose are bleeding and he's a sheriff. That's all we need to know.
I was sold at Sam Neill, man. That guy can deliver some dialogue.
Yeah, he can. I wish Tarantino would get him.
Like hearkening back to when he did that Merlin series. If
Yeah.
anyone else had been cast as Merlin but him, that shit would have been dumb as fuck.
Yeah. I haven't watched Merlin in fucking like 20 years, dude.
All those old ass weird. I don't want to call it sci-fi, but it came on the Sci-Fi Channel. That's how I was exposed to some of it, and plus I had family members who had actual fucking copies of it. But
Yeah.
shit like Merlin, there's a version of the Odyssey that's like really goddamn long, but it's fucking on point. But it's got that, it's not the best production value,
Yeah.
but I love all those old movies like that. But yeah, Sam Neill's the shit, and that looks good.
Yeah. So this trailer came out February the 17th. And the reason that I pulled this trailer was because I think they pushed the date out on it because of the pandemic. And there were people talking about it on that movie news website where we get our movie news at.
Yeah.
So whenever I saw that and saw them talking about it, I don't remember watching the trailer for it. That's why I dropped it. So yeah, I'm interested to check it out. I'm Shreddy. Shreddy Freddy.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Got that. Ooh. There's a fungus among us. Hmm. It looks like a trip.
Yeah, right. Literally,
That's why
That openly referenced Stone Ape Theory.
That's what you talk about. It says mystery drama movie, but that looks a little bit of a horror thing going on there.
Yeah, right. Looks psychedelic, man.
Like another
You-
type of a field in England
Put that in there.
You want
where
to
they're just
fucking
where they're just in one area for like 90 fucking minutes tripping balls, but they're like he clearly got into some mushrooms and is starving out in the woods and like he's losing his fucking shit.
yeah. Let's fucking do mushrooms and review the movie, guys.
Mm,
No, thank you.
It'll be fun, I swear to God.
no, it won't.
I'll bring Snickers and we can cut the tops off and put them in there.
All right, we got our Ernest trailer. I'm ready to fucking check her out.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. It's just a damn.
I want to watch that, man.
Yeah, I hope it gets made.
Yeah.
Right. I like the recommended Jim Varney stand up routine,
Yeah, I just
1979.
clicked on that. I bookmarked it. I don't think I've ever seen
I
him do
mean,
stand up. Damn, that's pre-Ernest.
yeah, way pre Ernest, dude. So, what are we gonna watch next week?
Yeah, what's it gonna be?
What is what's coming out on Warner Brothers next week? Is there anything big? I don't think Dune's coming out, right?
Oh, I gotta check.
Because they were dropping a let's see, HBO Max.
There was something because we were gonna watch. Was it? Was there something after the Peanut Butter Falcon?
I was thinking there
We've been
was.
looking at something. Wasn't that Infinite movie? Wasn't Saw? What comes out?
Let's see. There was. It seems like there was something, but I don't even fucking remember, man. Do not remember.
I'm looking at the. While I'm looking at this, I watched Sweet Tooth.
Oh yeah.
Good show. Definitely be watching the next season. And I watched Utopia,
Ah,
which is really good. Which I didn't know was a remake.
is
There's
it?
another version of that in like 2000 or something. Same story, same everything. It's weird
Same
that they
actors?
were no. It's weird that it's really good, man. That Utopia was really good. Like, and it kind of plays on like viruses and
Pandy.
yeah, government and corporations doing weird things with virus. It was just a weird time for that to come out,
Yeah, right.
but it was good.
Is it just a one and done? Like one season?
No, there'll be more. The way it left off,
Oh, okay.
and man, I thought I had it figured out, you know,
Yeah. But
but
you got
hell
hoodooed?
no,
Nobody out hoodoos the hoodoo
Voodoo
man.
Man. Every time I think of that song, I think of it in Go Away Baiting. Somebody done hoodoo the Hoodoo Man. I'm not seeing anything that's pulling my.
Ain't nothing pulling your chain.
Cause Dream Horse. Nope. That looks
I've
like
only been
some
watching
other movie.
documentaries lately.
Hmm. Let's see.
Where's Dragon? Hell no. I need to get up on that Handmaid's Tale.
I know I've heard good stuff.
I
You
think
know.
I'm gonna start watching. What's the movie with all the serial killers? Mindhunter.
Yeah.
That's really good.
They do a
We were.
BTK episode. I mean, I know he's in there, and I want to see.
Ed
We
Kemper
watched.
steals the show in that series.
Yeah, we watched the first episode and it was really, really good.
I will say that the Saw movie's out.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the upcoming releases here. So June the 16th, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard comes out.
What's the
And
day?
then June the 18th, we've got Summer of 85. And I think oh, that's, no, never mind.
It was the summer of '69.
Yeah. We got F9, Fast and Furious 9 coming out June the 25th. Zola's June the 30th. The Forever Purge is July the 2nd. Black Widow's July 9th. Space Jam's July 16th. Old comes out July the 23rd. The Green Knight comes out July the 30th. So I don't,
I
I
can't
mean,
wait to see that.
yeah. Suicide Squad's August 6th. Free Guy comes out August 13th. Demonic, that Bloomhouse, or not Bloomhouse, but Blomkamp, that comes out August the 20th. Candyman, August 27th. The Beatles Get Back also comes out August the 27th.
That documentary.
Get Back. Yeah. So I mean we've got that Saw movie, we've got the new Conjuring, but if we're gonna do the Conjuring, we have
I
to
haven't
do all
seen
three
the
of them,
others.
right? Yeah, I think The Hole in the Ground, we got that's in here. I got a proposed Sam Raimi month right here. Of non Spider-Man, non Evil Dead films. We could do that for a month.
Yeah, you got
Um,
Darkman. Oh, The Quick and the Dead.
yeah, The Gift, Simple Plan. Is there anything that you've been wanting to watch, Trav?
Not really, but I dropped a trailer for a damn good documentary I watched the other day.
Glitch in the Matrix. Magnolia Pictures. Trying to think if there's anything that we put on the back burner to
Didn't
hold
know
for
that
us.
Sam Raimi directed The Quick and the Dead.
Yeah.
Well, on that thing
His
there, we've got those. The Hole in the Ground.
No Sudden
No
Move
Sudden
doesn't come out
Move.
until July, I think,
Yeah.
which I do want to watch.
I don't know, man.
Let's I don't know. I mean, it's going to be kind of scarce the next couple of weeks here. I'd say up until Black Widow, which is July the 9th. So we've got 1, 2,
We got 4 weeks. Well,
3. Yeah.
We could go ahead and do the Sam Raimi. You know, we'll be doing Loki along with it.
Yeah.
And then that'll help us get set up for some future titles.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, do y'all want to do them in that order, or y'all want to do them in a different order? I mean, because I kind of want to watch The Quick and the Dead first.
Yeah. How about we go backwards?
Okay, yeah.
Quick and
The
Dead,
Dead, The Gift,
Simple Plan,
Darkman. So that'd be from the newest to the oldest, right? Pretty sure that's how I'll put them in there, the oldest to the newest. So I'm cool with that. You cool with that, Trev?
Sure.
I mean, Quick and the Dead has a fucking all-star cast.
I like
man.
that movie a lot.
I do too.
I actually saw it it hadn't been that long.
Yeah.
Preacher.
I mean, Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Leo.
Tobin Bell, Lance Henriksen, Keith David, Gary Sinise.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched it in so long, but I'm excited.
I think I watched it on Prime. And I wasn't gonna. Oh, that came out in 1987.
What?
The Quick and the Dead.
It
No,
came out
that's
in
a different
'95.
one.
Yeah, the original came out in '87.
I'm like, what? That
The
don't make
original's got
sense.
Tom
Sam
Selleck
Elliott.
in it, right?
Uh, nah, it's Sam Elliott.
I thought it had Tom Selleck in it for some reason. I don't know.
It's fucking got Running Wolf.
Running Wolf.
But yeah,
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
ETW.
DTW.
And then when we come
That's
back,
all.
we'll have like the Hitman's body. If if you guys want to see those and
Yeah.
whatever else we get into, we'll get
Yeah.
into
Well, I
something.
mean, when we come back from that, we'll have Black Widow.
We got to
And then
watch
we'll
that
have,
ASAP.
yeah, might have to put off a Raimi week for that, but that'd
Uh,
be all right. Old if that becomes available, Green Knight if that's
oh my
available,
God.
Suicide Squad, Free Guy. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming
Good
up,
shit
just
coming in the
nothing.
pipeline.
Yeah, for sure.
And Loki.
And Loki.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, legit, right?
How many? Do we know how many? Let me
How
look.
many episodes?
Yeah, I'm going to look real quick.
I think it's 6 total. I think we got 5 more.
What
Which
a
is, I
fucking.
mean,
Come on. I mean, they're only doing what they got to do to tell the story.
yeah,
I get it. Don't drag it out. It's leading into stuff.
yeah, the implications,
I like how they do these shows now too, man. Like one episode will be a little bit longer. The other one they'll be short. You know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah, they don't stick to a specific time slot.
When he said, "I'm gonna gut you like a fish," the guy
It's
said,
like, what's a fish?
"Yeah." He's like, "I think I need to know what it is
Yeah,
before I agree to it."
yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, we're gonna
All
get
right.
Quick and the Dead next week.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. I'm gonna go ahead and add all this to the server so that we'll be good to go.
Check
I'm
them out.
excited.